Hello Exile, Betta here with an update on my strength stacking zombie necromancer with 1.3 million Sirus DPS and have only invested under 2 exalts, making for a good budget build to start from and later juice up our gear, which I expect to easily reach 10 million Sirus DPS without any items being super expensive, as my goal is to keep it reasonable. Once the build is stable and I'm satisfied, I'll release a full guide on it, but until then I'll be releasing update videos just like this one to keep you informed on my progress. With this being said, should you want to follow my progress, then smack that subscribe button and ring the bell to be notified on my latest videos. If you want to see the previous videos or the path of building, it will be down below in the description for you. So, compared to getting into white maps from my recent video, I have now managed to defeat all of my conquerors. I am on my way to spawning my Sirus as well. I did not have any problems taking down any of the conquerors except for, I think it was Hunter. He managed to kill 5 or 6 of my zombies, but I still got to kill him because it was just right at the end when he killed them. Overall, the build is doing really well compared to higher investment versions that people are doing, especially the ones that I've been seeing on PoE Ninja. Otherwise, now we are rocking our 1000 strength, which means we are now leeching our zombies damage to us, which is really awesome because it allows us to have a lot more survivability. However, I have not yet picked up Vol Pact as I feel it's not necessary just yet, but going into T15s and T16s, I feel like that will be a necessary thing to pick up, especially while doing the Scourge mechanic, as some of the enemies deal ridiculous amounts of damage. Otherwise, we currently have got our resistances all capped still. We are on about 4,000 armor, giving us 62% damage reduction. While we are all flasked up, as you can see, it pushes up to 79% physical damage reduction and 20% chance to evade, thanks to me acquiring some new, somewhat decent flasks, but they aren't the best, obviously. And then, yeah, moving on to our minions and that. For our Animate Guardian, I'm currently running just a normal budget setup that has got our Victorio's Flight Boots for the extra movement speed, and then I'm rocking the Dying Breath Staff, of course, for the extra damage, and then the Leocast Helmet for that extra damage too, and then some Southbound Gloves for the extra life, and of course an Ambush Charge Chest, which I just found laying around in my inventory, so I'll just pop that on there, which I'll be upgrading to a Windscream, Curse on Hit Vulnerability Gloves, the Kingmaker, a decent chest with Consecrated Ground around you while stationary, and some life and resistances. And then, of course, just a normal helmet here with some Chaos Resistance and some more life, which I'll be changing into better versions later on. And then, in terms of our own gear, we are now rocking a one-handed scepter, which has got strength on it, and minions deal increased damage, along with the minions have a 5% chance to deal double damage. And then I just threw a craft on there for the extra attack speed, which helps out on our zombies hitting just a little bit quicker. Then our helmet still remains the same as the Baron, which I'll be upgrading to one that either has got the lab enchant for zombies attack speed, or maybe I'll be getting the one with the flesh offering attack speed. I'm not too sure which one will be better, but I'm pretty sure that the flesh offering one will be a lot better than the zombies one, of course. Then we now still have our Astramentus. I put death attunements on it as I dropped these points over here in the skill tree, which we'll get to in a little bit. And then I've got a nice shield here with quite a high amount of armor, a decent amount of life, and some chaos resistance, as we are lacking chaos resistance on this build. I'm trying to find ways to get some more chaos resistance so we can be not in the negative, of course, so we take less chaos damage. And then moving on to the boots, I've also got strength on these with a little bit of resistance. teeny little bit of movement speed as well, and some life, as movement speed isn't really an issue at the moment, as the build doesn't clear insanely fast, but I'm hoping with some more investment it will start clearing a lot quicker, of course. And then our Boucher has got quite a lot of strength as well, a little bit of lightning resists, and I just threw on a random mana craft there because I didn't have anything else of use to put on there. Then we are still rocking our Meganord's Vase gauntlets here with the +2 to level of Socket Airy Gems. And then our ring has now got aspects of the spider, so we can slow enemies. And when it reaches 3 stacks on the enemies, it gives all of our zombies an extra 15% attack damage against those enemies, which is pretty nice. However, I think I might be swapping this out for Skitterbots later on, because it seems that it will provide a lot more damage, especially on bosses, but not that we struggle on bosses anyway. Then for the other ring, I just have a normal unset ring here with some strength, life, and a bit of resistance too. And in it, I've got my Chaos Golem, as I couldn't seem to fit him anywhere else just yet, as I'm still busy figuring out which gems are the best to use. Right, so I am currently using a Desecrate, of course, just on bossing, so I'm able to pop my Flesh Offering to keep that up for the extra attack speed. And then I'm using a Poacher's Mark as well, which gives our zombies extra physical damage, which is really, really cool, because that enables us to take down the bosses just that much quicker. And of course the Flesh Offering here. Then I'm running a Flesh and Stone and Dread Banner. The Dread Banner is of course linked to Generosity, which increases the effect of the impales that it gives, and the less accuracy rating that enemies have around us while they are within our aura, which you can't see thanks to my floor blocking it here in my hideout, but yeah, about this big. It's a pretty decent size. And then of course we are rocking Pride as well here for the more physical damage. Of course, staying in between the enemies isn't a problem, as we are pretty tanky already, so there's no problems there. Then we have our Raised Spectre linked to Meat Shield, Laugh Tap, and Animate Guardian. It is pretty much the same thing as my previous video, where I'm rocking the Seraphim and our 2 generating apes. Nothing new there. Moving on to with Flame Dash, I have Arcane Surge linked to it currently because our mana regeneration is pretty low, and when we have Arcane Surge up, it does give us just that little bit more mana regeneration, which allows me not to run out of mana. Then I'm using a Vitality just for the extra aura, as our as Commander of Darkness gives nearby allies increased attack and cast speed per aura that you have, so that's just for the extra attack and cast speed for the time being. I think I might be swapping that out for probably Clarity, especially once I grab Vault Pact, as then life regeneration has no effect on us. Moving on my boots, I've got Convocation and Summon Skeletons linked to Brutality and Maim. Mainly the Convocation is just there so I can spam it to keep our zombies on top of us, as if you guys don't know this, it is pretty difficult to keep your zombies on you, so having Convocation being used as much as possible allows them to stick on you and kill everything around you. Otherwise you just get swarmed by enemies and you end up dying, which is pretty AIDS. Otherwise, the Summon Skeletons is just a placeholder for the time being, because I just want it for the extra damage on bosses, and it's pretty fun to use them as well. But they are not really going to be that viable going into endgame content, as I can fit in something much better than Summon Skeletons with these links. Anyways, moving on to our zombies, of course, which we currently have linked to Brutality for the extra physical damage, melee physical damage for the more physical damage too, And then I have Feeding Frenzy in here at the moment, just to make them more aggressive, which makes clearing a bit better. And it feels a little bit less clunky. However, I'll probably switch this out for an Empower, so we can get some more extra zombie levels, and then maybe get that extra 1 zombie, which will push us to 11 zombies. And I'll look for other ways, of course, to get some more zombies without investing heavily into strength stacking, because all I want at this stage is just to have 1,000 strength for the leech and for the extra 2 zombies. Going further into strength stacking, I feel is not going to be worth it. But yeah, and then I've got Impale, of course, for the extra Impales, and then Multi-Strike now too, which allows them to double slam, which is pretty neat on the clear, and in terms of killing bosses too, it helps out a great deal. Then for our flasks over here, I've just got a normal life flask with instant recovery and bleed removal for the time being. Then the Quicksilver has got duration and evasion rating, which I am pairing with our Jade Flask, which gives us evasion rating. But on this, I've got the increased armor mod as well, because we are running the Granite Flask, which also gives us 1,500 armor, and this increases the effect of it. Then on my Granite Flask, I've got freeze removal, immunity to freeze and chill during the flask effect, so we don't get randomly frozen and we can't move around and then we just die. Then on the Quartz Flask, I am running just for the phasing mainly, but also for the reduced effect of shock on you, as I am running the Soul of Ruthkan for the extra reduced effect of shock on you as well. So we have got 110% reduced effect of shock, and the reason why I'm running this is because, especially now in Scourge, a lot of the enemies are, a lot of them deal lightning damage and a lot of them shock you. So by having these paired up together, it enables me not to be shocked, so I don't get just randomly one shot when we have like 12 enemies on the screen that swarm directly for you, and then boom, you're just dead. So that prevents that from happening, which is really, really cool. Anyways, moving on to upgrading the gear. I will probably be, most likely I will be using a bow, because I feel like getting a +2 wand is not going to be worth it. However, I'll have to just play around with it, especially the damage numbers in Path of Exile, and see how things go. But I'm feeling pretty confident that using a bow that's got +1 to skill gem levels and minion damage, as I'm currently busy making one now. Where is it? I have no idea where it is. Okay. But yeah. And then on it, I'll probably craft +2 to level of support gems as well, which I expect to push our Empower up to like level 6 or level 7, and then that'll push our zombies up to, I think it's level 25 or so, which will be really juicy on the damage numbers, of course, but I'll get into that in the next video. And then our helmet, I already spoke about. I'm going to be looking for the enchants. They shouldn't be difficult to get at all. Our amulet, will most likely be replacing this with a +1 zombie amulet, but also one that has got +1 to level of all intelligence skill gems. We'll first need to get a decent base and the orb, so I can do that, which is at a later stage. And then the shield I'll be replacing with a quiver that will also have chaos resistance and some life, and hopefully maybe some strength too, just so we can stay above our 1000 strength, so we don't drop below that. Then for our boots, I'm currently busy scourging a whole bunch of boots to try and get +1 to level of zombies on them, but the chances of landing it is like 1 in 1000 or something ridiculous, so I don't really have high hopes on that. Then for our belt, we're going to get an implicit for 18% increased strength, and then I'm going to essence roll it and try and get a high life roll on it, along with a little bit of resistance. Maybe even some chaos resistance will be super, super cool. And then as in for our rings, I'm not too sure what I'll be swapping them out for, but all I do know is that I'll be trying to get a lot more strength on them and laugh, of course, maybe some chaos resistance in between there, but we'll see how the prices roll out. And on our chest here, I also forgot to mention that we're running strength with a little bit of resistance and the extra additional physical damage reduction with some laugh, so it makes us just a little bit more tanky. But I don't think I'll be replacing this chest anytime soon, and if I do, it will most likely be one that has got a lot more laugh, a little bit higher roll of strength, and of course one that probably has 2000 armor or something ridiculous. And then our flasks, we've already been over. Right, so for our skill tree, what is different from last time? So from last time, I dropped Enduring Bond, I dropped getting a Death Attunement and Anointing it rather to get the extra points. With those extra points, I put them into our Cluster Jewel. Our Cluster Jewel has got Call to the Slaughter, Feasting Fiends, and Renewal. Mainly for the extra regeneration, chance to deal double damage, laugh, and the extra leech that our minions gain. Then of course on our medium cluster, I've got Feasting Fiends and Renewer 2 for that extra chance to deal double damage and regeneration, along with that extra bit of leech for our zombies, so they don't die easily. And then I am using some Ghastly Eye Jewels here, one that has got Taunt and Laugh, and minions deal extra physical damage, so our minions can have some more crowd control and we get hit less often. And then on the other one over here, we have the extra physical damage to minions as well, with a little bit of Laugh and the chance to blind on hit with attacks. As we are running a bit of evasion chance, blinding the enemies does make a really big difference. Of course, it's not a massive difference as our evasion isn't that high, but it is a significant difference though. Then of course we have hinder on hit with spells because of our third spectre. Its scream is a spell, so then we can hinder enemies further by an extra 30% movement speed, which stacks with our aspect of the spider, which is pretty cool because then the enemies move around really slowly, making us to be able to maneuver around a bit more. And then I passed over here into Sacrifice, so minions can regenerate Laugh as well. And I picked up the Convocation has increased cooldown recovery rate, as I explained now previously, that spamming a Convocation and keeping your zombies nearby is a vital part of playing zombies, as it is the weak point, you can say, I guess. Then over here I went into Sovereignty for the extra mana reservation efficiency of skills, and we picked up increased area of effect of aura skills. The reason why I picked up the area of effect is because our Flesh and Stone and Pride aura is a bit bigger, meaning I don't have to stack right on top of enemies but still be nearby them, which is pretty cool. And then there is and then in terms of our other jewels, I've got increased maximum life on them and minions deal increased damage. This one I got lucky because its minions have extra accuracy rating as well, which allows them to miss less. And then on the other one here, just got some strength, increased maximum life as well, and minions deal extra damage. Then over here as well, same thing, extra damage and maximum life. But this one over here is just a placeholder for the time being. I'm planning to put a Glorious Vanity here, and then taking Mind Over Matter and pairing that with Vol Pact. So what happens is by putting a Glorious Vanity Jewel here in the name of Ahuana, it means that then when the zombies leech damage to us, it will not be capped at our life, it will be overcapped. So we'll be able to overleech just like in the old leech days, you know? Okay, so that is the updates on the build. I will leave a mapping example now at the end for you guys, and I appreciate you watching this video, and if you of course enjoyed watching this update video, then I recommend that you hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, guys, for future updates just like this one and for my build guides for when they come out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.